I see some sights on the train into work, and you won't believe how many like conversations people just don't care. They're
Yeah.
screaming down the phone, all up in the business. I now know that fucking Shirley on the train is having a feud with her daughter because she don't come home at 10 p.m. And I'm like, I've got noise cancelling on in my earphones, and fucking Shirley's giving it the beans on the other side.
What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. My name is Luke, and join with me each and every week. I do have my lovely co-host Jake. Jake, my man, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone, and happy, what is it, America Day. It's
Yeah, it's,
well done
technically,
for escaping the clutches of the Queen.
I'm saying, bro. I think it's so funny, like thinking about, like, yeah, obviously, like every country has like that was owned by some country has like an Independence Day, right? Like I know Australia has an Independence Day, don't they?
Yeah, there is. It's just called Australia Day. Yeah, so but
Yeah,
it's not like
Australia Day.
it's not really like independence. It's more just like a celebration of we're not criminals
Yeah.
anymore, and we're actually a nice set of people.
Yeah, we're not criminals anymore. Yeah, and then when I was joking around, I was talking to someone about it today at work, and I was like, "Yeah, America is yeah, it's Independence Day, so it's it's the day every time I get to text Jake and say thank you for not caring about us."
I think what there was a tweet from, was it the British Embassy, the British
Mhm.
US Embassy, and it was just an image of we didn't actually care anyway. We didn't want you guys. And I
I
was
know,
like,
right?
from the
No,
official embassy, I was like, that's a banger of a tweet. Give that admin a
no,
pay rise.
no, and I think it's so funny because when you think about it, right? Like, again, I'm not trying to shit on America because I mean I live here and I do love where I live, but um when you look at the historical concept of the colonies were an utter failure for the British Empire, and they're like, "You guys want to stay? I mean, we don't want you to because we'll lose the territory, but sure, we'll fight, and if y'all win, well, cool, we'll send our backup troops." I just think it's just so funny. I just think it's so funny, like looking back on it. Because I remember I asked my professor in history, my Revolutionary War class I took. So I took a class in all the wars. I took a Civil War class, a Revolutionary War class, and it also take the Vietnam War class because that one always appealed to me a lot when I was studying history. And yeah, he literally was like, "Yeah, we were very lucky that the British did not care that much because they easily could have sent more ships over and more ships over and more ships over, and we would have lost." And I'm like,
I think it was
"Good to
a
know."
mutual agreement. It's like, you can have
Yeah.
it. You're still going to be our friends. Yeah, nice, cool.
Yeah,
Keep
that's
it.
basically what it was. It was basically what it was. We're like, "You guys aren't gonna fight us anymore? Okay, cool."
I
They're
mean,
like, "Oh, I mean,
there's
we
some
can still, like,
weird
hang out and be
traditions in
cool?
my eyes
Cool."
as well. Like in terms of
Yeah.
like, what is it? The bin turkey or the bin chicken? What where
Yeah,
people just
the
dump stuff in vats of oil?
yeah, the frick don't even get me started on fucking oil, bro. Uh, yeah, no, air frying not air frying, deep frying turkeys, yeah, like,
I see
there's
videos.
some right, it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing in the entire world. It's like, look, number 1 way to set your house on fire is by deep frying your
Like,
turkey.
what
I
is
would know.
the premise behind it? Is it quicker to cook that way? Or is it just
Dude,
like a thing?
I think it I think it might be quicker, but I also think it's like I guess it just makes the skin extra crispy and keeps all the juices in a little bit easier because if not, like the juices could escape and then you just get a really fucking dry turkey because turkey is already a dry meat anyways
Yeah.
if you don't like do the right thing with it, right? So I think that's the main reason why people do it that way. I think I've had one of those turkeys once, but it wasn't anything to write home about. So I'd be like, I will just do it the old fashioned way like I did last time, and I will literally not burn my house down. Thank you very much. It's not worth it, dude. And yeah, silly American traditions that we do, and we just gotta I don't know. We are American. It's American Day. But I don't
Are
really
there
care
any
for it
other
too
like
much.
traditions that I don't know about, like that are a lot like mainstream? Obviously, there's fireworks and like parties and
Yeah, it's like, we just literally what we do is we fireworks is the biggest one for sure. And then just going out there and grilling on barbecuing. That's really what it is. Yeah, it's more of
same
an
as Oz Day.
outdoorsy type of event. Yeah, like we're just out there barbecuing burgers, dogs, you know, ribs, steak, chicken wings, all the whole 9 yards, hot dogs. Yeah, it's just a giant barbecue day, and then like little games. A lot of people go to the beach on this day as well. Um,
For some reason, I
but
always forget that America has beaches. Like, I just don't associate America with
well, I mean,
beaches. Like,
when you think about it, right? Like you probably obviously you're not going to associate America with beaches because I mean, yes, we have the coastline, we have the east and the west coast, but that's maybe about 10 states on one side and there's about 30 other states that are just in the middle of fucking nowhere and they don't got a beach. So
it's
like, so I kind of get where you're coming from a little bit like but by forgetting, but I mean, I grew up on the east coast. Again, I've never been until I moved here, never been more than 10 minutes away from the ocean. So,
yeah, that's
you
true.
know,
I mean,
yeah.
well, look at the population of Australia, and there's like just one speckle in the middle, and then
Mhm.
everyone else is on the coast. So
Yeah.
it makes sense. It literally makes sense. And then
Just
saying for Britain as well, I can't really say like we've got beaches there because they're all stone. They're all pebble beaches, pretty much. They're not sand.
yeah.
And if they are
Yeah.
sand, then it's really like you don't really want to be there. It's
Yeah, for sure.
a bit rough.
Yeah.
But no, it's a happy day, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
well, you get
Yeah.
to finish work early, which is I
Yeah, it was
assume a
good.
huge bonus. A huge
A
bonus,
rare
especially when you're moving
a,
house.
a rarity. Yeah, no, the moving process was something, dude. Like we found again, we went over last week like the whole process of getting approved. And the moving process honestly wasn't that bad. Um It was I think it was just the rush of it all, like we didn't, we were trying to figure things out. We didn't get a whole lot of chance to pack. And then for some reason, every time you move, you got to get more stuff. And I'm like, I
Yep.
don't know where half this stuff went, but you got to get more stuff. Like we don't have a trash can. I don't know how we don't have a trash can, but we just don't have one.
We never
And
bought one
I'm being
until
stuck.
like we moved here. So we have
Yeah.
that's like we've done 7 years, 6, 7 years of renting, and it's
Yeah.
we only ever had a bit. Jack actually got so annoyed that when he came over to our house, that one day I remember I came home from work and there was just a massive parcel on the doorstep. Like, I mean, huge. I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And I
Mhm.
messaged him. Like, I didn't order anything. Jack didn't say a word. He just ordered me a trash can to my
Oh my
house
gosh.
without saying a word. I was like, someone's scamming me. My house is going to get blown up. Like, this is like a false parcel. What is going on? And then I get there and I'm like, what is this? Like, when you're opening it, it doesn't make sense. It's just hard plastic. Like, oh God.
Yeah.
He had me stressing all day at work to a point where I almost went home at dinner to like look at this parcel. And since then, we've been
Yeah.
living out of a cardboard box with a bin in it. And
Yeah.
then we eventually went to IKEA and we bought a trash can. We bought
Oh
one.
my gosh.
Our first ever
Yeah.
trash can.
Like I just refuse to. Like, I mean, like, I'm not paying $20 for a bin to put trash in. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go
Just
to
give
the
it.
thrift store and get one. That's where I'm gonna go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to a flea market thrift store because I was like looking at it, I was like, I'm not paying $40 like at Walmart to get like a trash can with a lid. I'm not paying $20 at a discount store to get a trash can. I was like, bro, I will gladly just put it in a bag and take it out. But we have a puppy, so that's the only issue.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
fact that we have a puppy.
That'll chew a
Yeah,
hole
kind of
straight
can't.
through the bottom after those
Exactly.
chicken wings.
Bro, anytime we have chicken, I immediately just take the trash outside. I'm not playing games with that dog.
You'll come out and it's just all over the
um,
floor. How is the dog?
yeah, dude. The dog's good. She's good. Fireworks have been going off this evening. So she's been a little nervous, and it's hot in the house. So she's been laying on the floor to cool down a lot. So we're giving her a lot of water. We gotta figure out something about this AC. AC is like just not.
Cooked.
It's like it's not working. It's not. I mean, it literally, we have it set to 68 and it's 83 in this house. Like and we're on 2 floors, so like heat rises.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
we're up top. So I'm already like I'm perspiring. Like you're until we get it fixed, you're never gonna see me in a hoodie ever again. Like that's how bad it is. Um, So yeah, the dog's doing overall good. I mean, a new environment, new space for her to be put into, since we when we go to work and stuff like that. Um, but she's just she gets bigger and bigger every day, man. She's getting longer. She's, it's like before I could just like lift her like this and have no issue, and I still can lift her and have no issue. But I'm like, all right, kind of get a little bit more heavier. I can't just walk around with you on my arm and be like, all right, you're good. I'm like,
It's
all
when
right,
they it's when
I
they
might
get
have to
used to
switch
being
arms
picked
now,
up and they're still
bro.
fully, and
I
then they
know.
get fully grown and like they come to like pick me up. It's like no,
Bro, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. At a certain point, like if she hits 45 pounds, I'll still be able to do it, but I ain't gonna want to.
Forty-five,
She's got
fifty
her
pounds of
harness.
muscle.
She's got her harness now. So what I do when she annoys me, I just pick her up by her harness and just lift her up. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Just put me down. Just put me down." I'm like, "No. What are you doing over here, Josie? Just being a little twerp."
Rascal, little
I know,
rascal.
right? I'm saying she
But
definitely
she's
is keeping me on my toes.
so acclimatized to the new house. Then usually, like a
Yeah.
move can really throw them off. But I suppose she's still too young to really
Yeah.
associate.
Yeah, I would say like she definitely knows she's in a new space. Well, I mean, obviously we didn't have stairs in the house before, so she's like super excited about stairs. She's going up the stairs, going down the stairs. Like she's super like if we're not paying attention, she's scampering up the stairs, and I'm like looking in my room, like where'd the dog go? Oh, she's upstairs. So we have to shut our bedroom doors upstairs because it's not. She's in the bedroom, peeing on the floor. She peed on my fucking bed on my the other day. I was so mad. She peed on there twice. Like the first time, I was like, "All right, accidents happen. It's fine." And then the second time, I'm like, "All right, I took that personally. I took that one." I was like,
What did
"No."
I do? What did I do to deserve
Well,
this?
yeah, like you peed right by my head, dude. Like I was like laying in the bed, and I was like, "Man, why is it wet?" I'm like, and I just look over. She's looking at me, and she's like,
You like
"I'm
that?
like, oh my god." She's like, and she's still peeing. I'm like, "Are you still going?" So I had to like rechange the sheets. So that was a little bit annoying. And doing that at 5 in the morning was not ideal.
Oh God, no.
But
God.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know. I should not have brought her upstairs, but I was like, yeah, you'll be fine for like a minute while I like get ready and like maybe if you want to, because she barks to go to the bathroom, and I let her go to the bathroom and take her outside, and then I'm like, all right, you should just go back to bed, right? And she normally does. And this time I was like, all right, let me take you upstairs and see. And she's like, oh, nope, I'm peeing everywhere. I'm like, all right, fine, fine by me. Do your thing, girl. But yeah, that was
I was
slightly annoying.
when we had a dog, I was a very much dog upstairs
Mhm.
type of person. I don't like one leaving them downstairs is like they could do too much, man. Even if you have a
Yeah, there's so
cage
much.
or like a baby gate, they'll find a way, and then you'll come down
Mhm.
and something will be destroyed. The TV will be off the wall. They've chewed through a cable. Like
Yeah,
I'm not about child-proofing my house, so no, the dog is
yeah,
coming with.
yeah, pretty much. Like, like the dog is supervised. If she is not in her crate, she is supervised pretty much all day. Like, it's just like it's not even a joke. Like, I literally was like, I was putting together the shelf back there, and my roommate was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go change real quick and then go take her for a walk." That did not happen. They changed, but they passed the f out, and I'm just sitting there, like being like, "Man, they're taking a real long time to get changed." And then I'm like, "I mean, it's been 50." I was like, "Oh, they definitely passed out." And then I got the dog here, and I'm like setting my books up, and she's like looking at my like figures and like trying to chew my figures, and I'm like, "Bro, you chew on these, I'm gonna freak out. Not freak out. I won't get mad, but I'll be
You're
like, yeah,
gone.
stop. We
You're
need to go.
going back.
Yeah,
Where's the receipt?
yeah. And then so I had to like take a I had to like take a like, do I let her chew on? It's like what am I okay with her chewing on? Yeah, that was the internal debate is what am I going to let her chew on? And at some point I was just like, all right, you can chew on this fucking old flip flop, and I didn't care. And then she was fine. But I'm just like, all right, we can chew on. You can chew on a shoe. You can chew on a flip flop. You can chew on your toys. You can do that, but you're
Yeah,
not
no,
doing
no,
that.
that it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter if it's a toy. It's not worth it. It's definitely
Yeah.
not worth it.
They're like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, dad got me this giant elk antler that I can chew on, but I want to chew on the sock instead." I'm like, "Bro, go
Okay.
return the elk antler if you didn't want it then." That was like $15. Like,
Yeah.
screw it. Like stop. She definitely is like literally like I'm not trying to compare to having an actual child because I've never had an actual child, but this is what it is like on a lesser scale of having a child.
They
Um,
say a dog's a warm up.
I, yeah, I'm just like I'm good.
Eh,
I'm good. I'm good on kids for a while. I'm not. No, I've got my daughter right here. I'm
Yeah,
good.
that'll do.
And
I
the
mean, well,
nieces and nephews, they have a cousin now. My mom's finally a grandmother for the second time. She'll be all right.
yeah, there's enough distraction.
Yeah.
Spe-
She's got 5 humans and 1 dog. She'll be all right.
Speaking of grandparents, um,
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I just generically getting old. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
in 4 days, the big the big 3-0 is approaching for me.
Oh,
I
finally.
don't know how to take it really. It's
Yeah.
in one side I'm not too bothered like of
Mhm,
what's going on, but I just know that now there's certain milestones in life, and
mhm,
now well, people say that the best years of your life are actually your 30s and your 40s because
mhm.
you kind of have it figured out, but I don't, and I feel like I played catch up, but
Yeah.
30s
I
just
was
scary. I
Yeah,
think it's
30
just
is a
the
weird
adulting associated with it.
yeah, 30 is definitely like it's a weird number. I mean, I'm 31, so I've got an extra year on you.
Yeah.
Um, but just like fair warning for 4 days from now, when you will wake up, you're gonna get out of bed and you're gonna make a noise for the first time.
Oh,
And that is just
I've
you're
been
gonna be
making them
make
since like
yeah,
28.
yeah,
my,
I know, but
my back
you're gonna make yeah,
cooked
you're gonna it's gonna be a little bit deeper and it's gonna come a little bit more from like
inside the
you're like
bones.
talking now. You're like, yeah, it's like, all right, that's my knee. I'm right. Like that's how
Gonna
I
hit a
sound. Like
second
I'm like,
puberty.
bro, like I'm like every morning I wake up, like I like roll out, like rub my back. I'm like, all right, is my right knee gonna be bending the right way today? Oh, my knee just popped. All right, no, it's not. Like I talk to myself a little bit more than normal now. um, but
I do
no,
that
it's like
anyway. Like
I know, right? I do too.
people
I
at
think
work
that's
must think I'm crazy. Like
yeah,
they'll just hear
no,
me
there's so many
muttering, making sounds. It's, I'm just a
yeah.
weird person at work.
Dude, I'll make a random noise too. I was like, I'll be like at like running an event. I was working with someone the other day. I was like, wow. And I'm like, and they're like, what was that for? And I'm like, I don't
I
know. I
know.
just wanted to make a noise. Just wanted to make a noise. You know, just wanted to make a noise there.
Do you ever get
But yeah,
the sudden urge to scream at the top of your voice? Like
yeah,
full
not
on
top,
lungs?
but I'll go. No, I can't do that. Like it'll literally just hurt my voice. And I don't know why I don't do it anymore. But I'll
I've
literally go like, I'm trying to think of the thing, and I'll just go like at the event, I'll go like, I'll just do that randomly, and they're like, "Why'd you?" Like, "Ah, just need to get a little scream out.
because
Just had to get it
I don't
out."
do it at work, but especially
Yeah.
when I'm like home alone, like I
Mhm.
will belt
Yeah.
screams out like full on long screams, and I think the neighbors must think I'm like absolutely wild. But I need to get it out. Right?
Yeah. Fair.
There's something in me that I need to just give it a good.
Is that like how
And
you
I'll
get
just
your
be sat
aggression
there
out?
making a coffee and just. Ah!
Is that how you get your pent up aggression out? Is that like your way of
It
releasing
must be
it?
because I don't
Yeah.
like. Oh, I don't know. I've got a very short fuse. Like with
Yeah. Do you throw things a lot?
no, I punch things a lot. Like or
Okay.
slam.
Same
I
here.
do
Okay.
slam.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I do
it's
that too.
like
I'm like,
desks.
yeah.
Or
Yo,
if
you've
I
seen me. You've seen me in traffic smash something because I'm pissed. I'm like, you've seen traffic. There's
as I
traffic videos of me fucking throwing shit and
oh
getting
man.
mad.
But no, I shouldn't say like not punch, but like it's like
Yeah,
that micro punch that like if I'm doing something in like my say I'm fixing my PC and I'm getting really
yeah,
annoyed because this one screw needs to go in a specific place and I can't get it in, it'll be like just a little jab to the PC, like shut up. Or if something's making like a really weird noise, I feel like I've got very sensitive hearing, probably because I'm
okay,
blind. So like my ears are more tuned, and I'll hear like
yeah,
little rattles. Or there's one in the car at
mhm.
the moment. Oh, it's doing my head in, Luke. It's just by the driver side window, and I think because we've
Oh
got like
shit,
a
that's
fabric
annoying as fuck.
interior, like a
Yeah,
cheap fabric interior, that
mhm.
car material that they put on the roof.
Yeah,
Um, it's rubbing
yeah. What is it?
against
I
the
don't know what it's
seal.
called.
I don't know what it's called, but it's rubbing against the seal, and I can hear this like
Yeah,
like next to my ear, and it's
Uh,
I just the other day I just
yeah,
punched it. I just punched it, and it stopped.
yeah. No, well, good. Yeah,
And it
my mom
stopped.
always said my mom said violence hitting things is never the right answer, and I'm like, well, hitting people is never the right answer, but hitting
Inanimate
inanimate
objects,
objects, it perfect.
fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair game. Just,
yep,
I mean, just
yep,
don't go like punching walls and stuff. I did that as a child, and then I got a big scar,
yeah.
and I almost broke my knuckle.
Yeah, I have not learned that lesson. I still punch like anytime I need to get aggression out, like literally like I get so mad that I start seeing red. I have to punch something hard just so my brain will be like, all right, that hurt. All right, we're okay now. We're calmed down now.
Are we
I don't
good?
know why it's like that. Yeah, it's like literally what it is. Like I remember I was doing something. I was probably playing a game and it pissed me the fuck off. And I literally walked outside, like it was in college. I literally walked downstairs, took the elevator downstairs, walked outside to the brick like podium thing, went punched it right as hard as I could. Knuckles started busted. I was like, all right, I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah,
And I
I'm
went
done.
back upstairs. Yep, I went back upstairs and beat whatever level I was trying to beat, and because I was calm. But like, it's just something about it. I've
It's a
always been
mental
like that though.
reset.
Yeah,
It's
I've
just a
always been
mental
like that.
reset.
Like yeah, I've been like that. Always been. I do have a short. I think I get it from my father. Like I think my mom says I get it from my dad. My dad always had a short temper. So like you don't get like mad. Really, it takes. She's like it takes you really a long time for you to get like mad. But then the second you get mad, you get mad. I'm like, okay. She's like, there's a buildup. It's not like something happens and you're like, fuck this. It's more like, all right, this happened, this happened, this. All right, I'm done. And
Yeah,
that's literally what
I'm clocking
ends
out.
up happening. Yeah, that's literally what ends up happening. It
But
takes a
nice.
lot. I think there's only been two people in the entire world to see me entirely pissed, and that has been my mother and it has been my best friend. Those are
I
the
can't
only
remember
two people
a
that
time where
ever
I
see
got
me.
fully
Yeah,
the last time
only
I fully lost it.
it's it's been a long time. It's probably been like I can't even think of it. It's probably been like 5 years since the last time I got really, really pissed because it doesn't happen. I'm a pretty chill guy, and something, and then there's only one time. No, it was about 4 years ago. Yeah, it was about 4 years ago. So what am I? 28. Yeah, so yeah, I remember now. I remember why I got. Yeah, I remember. I'm
It's
remembering
coming
now, and I'm not
back.
going to share it. I'm
A
not
little
going to
eye
share it
twitch is
because
coming in.
I'm not going to share it because it's a little too much. But yeah, that was the last time I got really pissed off, and yeah, that's the last time someone ever saw me get pissed off. I'm like, nope, I'm gone. I've lost it. I'm might drive my car into someone. That's how mad I am.
Oh, oh, oh.
like I'm calling someone on the phone. Like I'm calling my best friend on the phone, like yelling at him. I'm not mad at him, but like yelling at the thing. And he's like trying to calm me down on the phone. And I'm like, I'm calm. He's like, no, you're not. It's like, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, no, you're not. And I'm like,
I tell you
nah,
now, I
yeah,
see some sites on the train into work, and you won't believe how many like conversations people just don't care. They're
yeah,
screaming down the phone, all up in the business. I now know that fucking Shirley on the train is having a feud with her daughter because she don't come home at 10 p.m. And I'm like, I've got noise cancelling on in my earphones, and fucking Shirley's giving it the beans on the other side on the other side of the train. Like, I,
yeah.
I can't. For me, I can't do that. I can't scream down the phone. Well,
That's
one,
fair.
I don't use my phone a lot. I do doom
Fair.
scroll. I think everyone doom scrolls, and that's fine. But
Everyone
like, I don't
does.
use
Yeah.
for my phone for my sole purpose of calling things.
Mhm.
If I had 100 minutes a month instead of unlimited, I don't think I'd ever break like the 100
Okay.
minutes. I don't really send
That's good.
texts either. I don't even
Okay.
know what I use my phone for, other than
You
music.
probably just yeah, you probably only really use it for the internet capabilities of it and music, yeah.
Yeah, I mean YouTube. I did
Yep.
the thing I've been doing on the train at the moment is I was saying to
Mhm.
Luke, like I've done a bit of market research because
Okay.
we're always trying to improve the podcast, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and it is an art form, and I think me and Luke, when we both
Yeah.
first started, we did not understand what we were getting into. We came with like
Nope.
topics and stuff, and tried a very structured approach. And
Yeah.
podcast is not that. It's never that.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been listening to quite a range of podcasts to try and like
Mhm.
understand nuances in terms of timing and what to say and when. And I tell you now, like, the Yard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the biggest podcast at the moment, I would say, because Joe Rogan kind of fell off after all the political shenanigans. But I would
Yeah.
say The Yard is probably the biggest podcast at the moment. People will probably disagree, but it's
Just one
there.
of them.
I have never heard the most unhinged stuff being said on that podcast. I mean, they were talking about hypotheticals the other day. I think it was 3 or 4 podcasts ago because I was reading back, and they were, oh man, like, the hypotheticals they were coming out with. And I get that, like, the whole premise of the podcast is they're just sat in the back garden like friends, and you just ignore the camera and you just let rip. Like, there is
Yeah.
no. And they were talking about like, okay, you're uh, like one of us, so and so name has just killed someone in cold blood. Are you dipping them in? And I'm sat there listening, like, hell no, like, course not. And then they're all like, oh well, it's gonna be like a federal crime and stuff, this and the other. It's like, okay. And then they just took it to another level, and they were like, what if so and so was like a really bad person, if you know what I mean? And I was like, what do you mean? It was like, oh, I mean like a really bad person, like they've committed some crimes, but killed them in cold blood because they committed the crimes. And they're like, yeah, no, I'm still not dipping them in. They're my friend. I'm not doing it. But this guy on the podcast was like, yep, I'm calling the police. You're going down. Like, he was cutting ties. But I have never seen,
That's
like, heard so
yeah.
much unhinged stuff come out. But to be
Mhm.
honest, people probably thought I was like crazy. I've got my earphones in at the train station and I am howling at some of the stuff. Like, he was talking, he was talking about playing. They were playing like beer pong. And
Okay.
in the UK, it's a term called peaches. Um,
It's called what?
Peaches. It's a game called Peaches.
Peaches. Okay. Okay.
Uh, but it doesn't have to be played in beer pong. Peaches is just it can be done anywhere where there's a photo taken. You can imagine where
Okay.
this is going.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting a
so,
picture.
so the whole idea of Peaches is that you get one nut out and you just leave it there for the photo, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it was just like a whole like reminiscent thing of my childhood because they were talking about like getting one nut out while in beer
Mhm.
pong and then to put people off the throat. And then I forgot what the guy was called, Nick. He was like, "Oh yeah," it's like the old check my watch. I was like, What the fuck? What the fuck do they mean by check my watch?" He was like, "Yeah, you just lay it over the top of your wrist down here and go, hey, what time is it? Have you got the time?" And then
Some
I
crazy
started
stuff.
thinking about like I'm not going to delve our podcast into this like homoerotic mess of just
Yeah.
lad talk, but this
Yeah.
the variety of content out there that
Yeah.
maybe we can
There's
delve
just so
into at
much
some
out
point.
there.
It's
Yeah, no, there's so much in there. I think what we've learned, I think one thing that me and Jake have learned is instead of speaking specifically, one thing that we're not great at, because we only know what we know, right? We're not a variety thing. Like as much as me and Jake say like we're gamers, because we are gamers. We don't play every game under the sun. We don't keep up with a lot of the gaming news. Like me and Jake know Pokemon really well. We know Draft League really, really well, and we kind of know tech and stuff like that pretty well. Like and like content creation, we know like those little things. That's kind of like where our spheres of influences. Like I know a little bit more about anime and I like wrestling and stuff like that. So I know like a little bit of stuff like that. The one thing that me and Jake are really good at is just talking about random shit. Like and that I think that's where we kind of like we started that and then we kind of lost it because we were like, okay, this did well, this did well, this did well, yada yada yada, and then we were just like, and then it just became more of let's get to talking point A, talking point B, talking point C, cut it, right? Instead of like
yeah,
having it be like we were having now a natural conversation. And yeah, and it is just taking inspiration from everything, right? Like it's very much, you mentioned the yard. I grew up on Rooster Teeth. Like that was like, when I say grow up, my young adult life, I grew up on Rooster Teeth. Like I found Rooster Teeth in 2012 when I was 18, and I pretty much followed them religiously till COVID time. Because
Yep.
once COVID hit, it kind of all kind of crumbled because they couldn't be in the same room, and business stuff happened. But the Rooster Teeth podcast was one of my favorite podcasts to ever listen to. Because it literally is just them talking about whatever. Yeah, then maybe they talk about like a new game that came out every once in a while, but it's very much just they would start something and then it would just go on a complete and utter tangent. And one guy would try to get him back on topic and it would never happen. And like Jake said, like the mountains, I would be gut busting laughing. Like it's hilarious. Like they literally, it's so funny because one of my closest friends, they walked in when I was watching one of the podcasts, and they're just making pancakes, and he doesn't understand. He's like, "You're just watching people make pancakes." Like, well, it's the pancake episode. They do this every year on the Rooster Teeth's birthday, where they do their pancake. They have their pancake podcast, and they're just sitting there talking about some pancakes and stuff like that. He walks in like the only time they're actually talking about pancakes. He's like Luke, and I'm on Discord, and he's just joking. He's like, Luke's just out here watching got grown men and a woman make a pancake. And so yeah, and he's sitting there watching them for 2 hours too. And I'm like, I mean, to be fair, they were doing that, but they weren't just talking about pancakes. But it's like that little stuff where you're just like, what is that? Like, what is that content? But like, it works because it's genuine, and that's what they do. But yeah, no, I get it. Like, yeah, listening to the yard, we've done some research. We got some. Like, we talked about last episode. We've got some things in the work to keep things going in a certain way, but it's very much like the podcast itself is what we've seen now. Is just we feel like it's more natural just to talk about whatever. The last three podcasts that we've recorded honestly have been my favorite ones to record, and honestly the most easiest ones to listen to too. Would you agree, Jake?
Oh yeah, we're definitely hitting the stride,
Yeah.
as I say. Um, do I wish that we might have to revisit some of the guest ones? I think because now that we
Yes.
know what we're doing, I think we went
Hmm.
too early into the guests,
Very
and
much so.
we could
We were
have.
so excited to get
Oh
people
man,
on. Like we were,
we
and it wasn't even like the fact. I think it wasn't even like the fact we were excited to get them on the podcast. We were just excited to talk to them because
yeah,
me and
like
Jake
there was
had
people
moved, and we hadn't. I hadn't talked to Seb face to face in a year and a half. I hadn't talked to Nick since I moved.
Yep.
God, I haven't talked to. The only time I really talked to Jack or Phoenix is when we do a fast draft or something like that. Like it's very much like we were just really excited to talk to our friends again, and we're like, yeah, just hop on the podcast because this is kind of like
This is
in the
it.
nicest way. It's kind of like me and Jake's really only way to do this because our everyone's all across the globe. Like it's 6 hours if I want to go talk to Nick or Jack. God knows, love Seb to death, but God knows where Seb's at across the globe. Like
I
he's
saw him in
somewhere.
Portugal
He's
the other
one.
day, but I don't know if
Yeah,
he's still there. He's
yeah, he's
the man
somewhere.
can
He's
fly, so he could
yeah,
be
he's a
wherever he
flyer.
wants.
He's a pilot. He can be pretty much anywhere. I like to think some of those smaller, like random, like countries that be popping up are just Seb listening to the podcast in whatever country he's in sometimes.
Maybe it's just Seb.
And maybe it is just Seb. Seb's the reason why we have a global audience and we just don't know it. But it's just like that thing. It's like it's very hard for me and Jake being 6 hours apart. Now Jake's finally learning how it was for me back in the day when I was 6 hours apart from them, where I'd be like, all right, what time are we waking up? Da, 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 da. They'd be out here getting hammered, drinking during the draft, and it's like fucking like 10:30 in the morning for me, like over here in the States. And Jack's like, grab a beer. I'm like, it's 10:30, dude. I got a whole day ahead of me after that. I'm not going to bed after this. He's like, come on. I was like, no. I was like,
That's the one saving thing. So, like for my
I'll
30th birthday,
cheers you.
I'm
I'll
hosting
cheers you.
Cheers You the Water. Um,
Cheers to the water dog.
but yeah, for my 30th birthday, we're doing another fast draft. I don't think I'm going to
Hey,
record it because I want it to be like the old times. I want people to just
yeah,
relax and
just have
but
fun.
Lukey Boy is gonna have to pull another favor for me because
Yep.
he's early morning when we do this stuff. And I'll be
Oh,
late night, and it's to be
yeah.
honest, there's one saving grace when it comes to not getting hammered because we're doing it on a Sunday. Uh,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, unless Jack takes it off work, which I mean
Yeah.
he could. I think I'm gonna have to take it off work, at least the
Yeah.
morning, because, or I just go in and come home sick because
Yeah.
that's what I do. Save your sick days and
Yeah.
all that. Just make go in and
Yeah.
look like hot steamy trash for for the
Yeah.
morning.
Hmm.
But no, I'm really looking forward to that. That being
No,
said,
I am too.
it's a whole vibe. Fast draft is a whole
Yeah.
vibe, and now, oh,
Draft league's a whole vibe.
did you see
It's all
Seb
it's
said
all a whole vibe.
he's alive again? He posted
I
in the
didn't.
Discord, and I was like, oh, oh.
Oh
Have you
no, I'm
have
gonna have
you
to
ever
look. I'm gonna
have
have
you
to
ever been like
I'm gonna have to
really
look.
excited at a message like that though? It's like you see someone like
Yeah.
message you, and it's like, oh, it's
Yeah. No, I
it's
need
time.
I yeah, like I don't have notifications because we're not like in an active season, so I don't have notifications turned on for draft league or for the CCC or for
I don't think
you and
anyone
Seb
does.
Discord server.
Every Discord
Yeah.
server I've joined is just instantly mute. Like I'll go
Yeah,
there if I need it.
exactly. Yeah, so like it's very much like I'll like hop on and I'll see like I'll check the announcement unless I'm specifically tagged in something. I do not see it unless I'm like, I wonder what Jake's posted in a couple days. I wonder what's going on over there.
700
But yeah,
messages.
yeah, like exactly. Like there was a message from 2023. I like was like, all right, well, that's not for me. That was
Nope.
2 years ago at this point. But no, yeah, draft league and everything is just it is a vibe, man, because it's like I think one thing that me and Jake both agree on is that it draft league holds a very special spot in our heart because it's where our good core friend group that we've made really just flourished, right? Like obviously we met throughout Twitch, but I think what really got us together was the draft league, right? Like it was like
Yep.
Seb and Jake coming up with this. Well, Seb coming up with it, Jake helping out with the graphics, and then it turning into what it was, and then me coming in with the helping out with the first ever the live draft, which we've talked about so many times being a fucking dumpster fire, to enjoying the first season, to prepping with each other, to Nick and I joining the council on the second season and sitting down and talking with that, just doing a 4 episode CCC podcast, which I still like to listen to every once in a while because it puts a smile on my face. But it's like, it is a vibe because it literally is like now that with Fast Draft specifically, it literally is just 7, 8 people that just like to play Pokemon, don't take it too seriously. And it literally is just, it's like
Do you
Jake
ever
said,
get the
it's
urge
a fucking vibe.
to do it again?
Yeah, every time. I do.
Like,
I just I
it's
every day. It's like once a month, I'll see the logo for the CCC and I'm like, could I commit to it? And I'm like, I got a new puppy. It's like life just is not. The last time we did it was a real struggle. Now we've talked about it numerous times, like trying to going back to season one, maybe 10 teams at the most, maybe 8 teams at the most trying to do with the schedules, but like it's very much like it's the way it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, guys, I am free all day Sunday, and I'm free Saturday after 6 o'clock EST, and then from there, I'm like, I have responsibilities. I can't make any promises, and coming from a player's perspective, having people switch up times on people was the most infuriating thing for me as a player.
yeah,
And
I
and
do
I
love through
don't
rose
want to be
tinted.
yeah, and I don't want to become that player because I know it will be like I mean shit. I was told Jake's like yeah could be on at 8 o'clock today. I didn't get on until 10:45. Like it's like very much like because there's so much stuff going on. I can only imagine like all right yeah I get to hop on this battle and the dog's having like got into something and I can't like I got give me 10 minutes give me 15 minutes and it could turn into a whole thing. Like I can only imagine the struggle of it, but I do want to bring it back. Like that's the thing. Like I do want to. Like I just know it will be a challenge getting the games in and stuff like that.
I
But
know
it was
Nick
so
won't do
it's
it. I know Nick won't do it, and that's like a
yeah,
nail in the coffin, man. That's like a little
yeah,
short dagger in the back, cutting my liver up
yeah,
because I think
yeah,
about it like twice a day. I
yeah,
honestly, like, I know I am nowhere near a tournament organizer, TO, as they call them in the biz, but I think that
mm,
might be my dream job, man.
yeah,
I just running a league. Just if I
Yeah.
could be paid like $20,000 a year to run a league, I would make that
Mhm.
$20,000. I would live off it, and I would
Yeah.
be content
Content.
content with it all.
Mhm.
It's just, but do when you and then I have all these like my Ringo Starr glasses on. I look for my rose tinted, and then you hear people say like, "Yeah, it's the dropouts and the buys and the
Yeah.
people just not playing, and
Yeah.
it's
I always think
or just not communicating." That's the problem. You would just get
communication.
blanked, and it's like, why? Just say yes or no. It's like, do you want to
Mhm.
play? Yes or no. Bye. I know
Yeah.
I was very to the point. I would give you
Mhm.
I would give people like one of a reschedule, and then if you didn't turn up, I would crank stream on it
That's it.
half before 30 minutes before, and then if you didn't, and then I would start that timer. As soon as it hit the time we were supposed to play, the timer went up, and if that timer hit 0, I'm gone. See ya. Done. I think there has been times where I've uploaded videos like no game. It's just,
Yeah.
but I feel like we've got to call people we can trust. And
Yeah, no, we do. Is the thing is the core people that we trust. It's just the core people is the fact that our schedules are all over the
cooked.
place.
Yeah,
Like,
and
yeah, it's
I made
literally
it
what
10
it
times
is.
worse. I made it way
Yeah,
worse by
I mean, it's
moving.
all your fault, James.
It's literally all
Sorry.
my fault, and it'll never come back, and it's all my fault, and I have to accept that.
Yeah,
That being
but
said,
I mean, I've
uh,
yeah. Go ahead, Jake.
it's okay. I'll let you finish because I'll do a bit of a content pivot. It's still on Draft League, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna do a ring about.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like, I mean, like at the end of the day, like when it comes to draft league specifically, we love it for what it is and what it was. But what it was at a time was again the time when the world was not the way it is now. Like the draft league started because COVID had happened. People were still in their houses. People were still working from home. People were still getting, at least in America, getting unemployment benefits for not being able to work. And then by about, I'm going to say the tail end of season 3, where we start seeing a lot more drops into season 4. It's kind of when the world started opening back up. Everyone's job had more commitments. People were going back to work. Da 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 da. And it literally just goes to show, like at the end of the day, if you like again, the name of the CCC is the Critical Continental Cup. Like we're not in the same time zone. We're not all in one country. We're all over the globe. Literally. Like that's the name. That's why it was called that. And it's just like Jake said, looking through it with roasting the classes is nice. But there's been many chats and many conversations behind closed doors through messages about the frustrations we had to have as people who are running the back end of the league as well.
Yeah,
So
eh,
yeah, go ahead.
and well, the thing is, like, I could go play a Draft League. I have
Yeah.
servers that are alive and playing
Mhm.
well, but I don't know any of them. And I think
Mhm.
this is what the content pivot I was going to do is I've pitched this to Luke a couple of times, and it's going to be a
Mhm.
huge commitment, and it might kill my YouTube channel, but I'm almost ready to accept this, that I want to try and make a docu series on
Yeah,
Draft League. Maybe it
that'd be
be
fun.
an 8-parter, a 10-parter. It's going to be a big one. We're talking like 10 hours worth of content, a minimum. Um,
Yeah.
Whether that just follows at first the idea was like just follow me and like my story through Draft League, but then I was like, why just content it at me when we've got all these other players, and the only reason why I have the urge to play Draft League again, I guess, is the fact that it's the people that were in the Draft League, the stories. Like
Exactly. It was the
we
people.
it, like me and Luke never really had a rivalry. I don't think I really had a rivalry. Like you could technically claim Jack because Jack was like my prep partner, so it was a bit awkward every time we'd played
Yeah.
because we couldn't sit down for our weekly drink or
Mhm.
two or four.
Yeah. R4, R5, half a case,
Was
half
there
a
much
rack.
prep? Probably not. um,
That's where the charger bug strat came out. The battery.
uh, And like I think back to like my the only rivalry I think I've ever had is do you remember Donkey Jake?
Yeah.
Uh, the only man who had the nuts to call me
Mhm.
out, and he gunned for me all season.
Yeah.
We finally got that match. We played that match, and I'm not gonna lie, that was the most nervous I've ever been in my life. But yeah, when we played that match, because I was giving it back. The banter
Mhm.
between us both, especially because like his draft league, I remember us doing the what do you call them? The power rankings,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everyone gave him like tens,
Yeah.
nines, tens.
Yeah.
I gave him like a six.
Yeah.
I said
You
that team's
shit on it.
trash. I'm gonna wipe the
Yeah.
floor with that team. And then the
You
match came up,
definitely shit on that team.
and I'm yapping from the sidelines because he's in the US league and I'm in the EU league, and I'm like yapping. And then that match came, and he pulled through, and I was like, oh. I remember sitting there with Jack going, I can't lose. This is one game I can't lose.
Yeah.
And he was slapping me in prep with this dude. He was like, you are cooked. I had to channel some inner demon. And that's the kind of
Yeah.
stuff, like, me getting the feeling of that now.
Yeah.
And I know Luke has had games where you get that
Oh,
feeling.
yeah.
And I want to follow that through. Whether I'm going to need a lot of help, because obviously
Yeah.
we're going to have to get everyone in the draft league to at least sit down with me for half an hour, a little bit of an interview type
Yeah.
shenanigan. And then because a lot of the games weren't streamed, or we tried to make a lot of people make content so we can go back
We
and we have an
tried.
archive of this. Um, but a lot of people didn't. So it's going to be a lot of like match recreation, like Wolfie does.
Yeah.
And I know that's going to
Mhm.
take a long time. That being said, though,
Yeah.
we do now have a way of playing online on the older games.
Yes, we do. We
So
do, thankfully.
we can make that happen because luckily the CCC started in Sword and Shield,
Yes.
and the Switch is readily available for most people, so we can do um,
Mhm.
match recreations. It'll
Yeah.
just be picking people's brains on what happened in that moment, and then I just need to recreate it
Yeah.
in a match. So it's not
Yeah.
it won't be too bad, but I feel like that because it's such of a defining part of our content core that
Literally, it's like
the
it's the
docu
defining
series,
part. It
yeah,
very much is.
the docu series of the just behind Draft League, I think is a really
Yeah.
fun concept idea. That being
Oh, it
said,
definitely is.
my biggest video comes out will have been out since recording this on the Friday, technically Saturday for me. It will come out on the Sunday. It'll have come
Okay.
out yesterday. That took me like a year to edit, on and
Mhm.
off. I did start again twice. So let's call it like 6 months, and that's only 45
Yeah.
minutes. So I
It's a
may be
big
biting off
endeavor.
more than I could chew. I might be biting
It's a
off more than I can chew.
it definitely is a big endeavor, but I think you we can talk about it. Like, I think one thing that's gonna be a big help is that we've got 2 people here, me and you, that can fucking talk to people.
Yeah,
So it could be just a thing where it's just like, "Jake, give me your questions. We can talk about it, or we can, like, link up, and you can ask the questions, and I can ask them, and if it's gonna be like you following it, we can there's so many different avenues we can do, but we're gonna make this thing happen because it's super cool. I don't think it's ever been done before.
I
I
can't
know it
remember.
hasn't. I know it for a draft league specifically, it's never been done before. And yeah, it is like it's again, it's you said it's like part of our content life. It's like like a good half of our content lives, like on the internet, is the CCC. It's the one thing that no matter what we were doing, we were always pushing this because we were really passionate about the CCC. We loved it. It literally was a child of ours that we took care of. We ran 5 seasons, and from some of the draft league horror stories I've heard, we ran a damn good league,
Oh
and
yeah, I know.
our league was run well.
I do look back in
So
the server, and the last message I like posted in the announcements was the season 6 plans. I'd done them.
yeah,
I coded it
yeah,
all. We were ready to ping whenever anyone was, because we usually left ourselves a little break
yeah.
between,
We
but then
always
we'd
did.
all get the itch, and it's like we were gonna have off time, and now we're not having off time because we want to just draft again.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I feel like I need a big project to work on behind the
Mhm.
scenes. Like I need that. I don't know about you, Luke. Like I need
Yeah,
a project at all times.
yeah, no, and that's fair. Like, I think the thing is, like, one of the biggest difference I know between me and Jake, which is like doing like content creation, is Jake's hobby. Like, Jake loves making content, like whether that be doing a YouTube video, whether that be doing streaming, whether that be doing the podcast, right? Like, I, for example, have a lot of hobbies. I like playing video. I'm very much like I don't. The reason why I don't stream anymore is because I stopped enjoying the games I was playing because I feel like I was always putting on a farce. I couldn't just sit back and pick up the sticks and play a game. It was very hard for me to like turn off like that brain cell and just be a casual gamer and do content creation. I like playing my games. That's one thing. Every time I try to do something for content, it's very much like I'm playing a game for the content, but I'm like I'd rather just play the game and not do this. And so that's fine. But I found my passion in this podcast because I love podcasts. I literally listen to podcasts every single week, pretty much every single day. And I like talking and I like talking about things going on in my life because honestly, right now, my life is pretty interesting. There's a lot going on, you know, and it's really cool to talk about stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, Jake's loves content creation and he needs a big project. I mean, this man does series like none other. Like your not was it called the Gin Lock? Is that what it was? Gin
Yeah,
Lock, yeah.
yeah,
Your Gin Lock that you did, like that was some superb content that I loved watching. You know, your gameplay videos. Anytime I can get on the stream and watch you stream, I enjoy that stuff. Like you can see the passion come through. And I just know that my passion right now is the podcast and me
yeah,
forcing myself to do something different, like to do like an extra content on my like doing a collab with like I can do anything with Jake. I'll do it with Jake because it's fun with Jake. I like doing it. But if it's me sitting down doing it by myself, it's very hard for me to hold myself accountable.
yeah.
Just like it's just me. At the end of the day, if I don't record a video for myself, it doesn't get put on my channel. Versus if I'm like, I don't want to record a podcast, well now it's not only it's not benefiting me, it's not benefiting Jake, it's not benefiting our podcast network and the people who listen to our podcast. So it's like there's nothing that's important, right? Like me, they're like, I'm gonna go do a Nuzlocke, and then I'm like, well, I kind of don't want to.
Oh, you
And
you
like it's
start and
not
you get to the first gym and it's like, okay, I'm done now. That's enough.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. Like I tried. There is gameplay video of me doing a Nuzlocke for a Heart Gold mod, and I got to like the fifth gym, and it was just ridiculously hard because they changed a lot of stuff and stat modifiers, and I just did not want to go look through all the stat modifiers again. And I did not want to wipe and be like, I lost.
So
Cool.
it sits there. The save is
So
sitting
it
there.
sits there. Yeah, and then we did freaking I did the one that you just finished your Nuzlocke for the BDSP mod Luminescent Platinum.
Oh,
And as Jake knows, I could not get through the first gym without dying. And I'm like, this isn't even fun. I'm getting
I
pissed. And I
I
don't
think
like
what we
being
didn't
pissed.
realize is that is a direct remake of Renegade Platinum, which is
It very much
arguably
is.
the not the hardest ROM hack, but the hardest like non-preppable, I call it. You can go in
Yeah.
and you can play it and you don't need to sit and look at the docs 24/7. Like you don't need to. You
Yeah.
can pick a if you see a team, usually because you'll look at what team they have, you can pick a six and like from your box, just random pick and pack, and then go in and probably win that battle.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not talking like run and bun and
Yeah.
radical red, which take calcs. They do take calcs. Um, I would I sit here at the start of the year and said I'm going to beat Renegade Platinum? No, hell no. If I'd have known that Luminescent Platinum was a more difficult version of Renegade Platinum, would I have done it? No. Is there a reason it took me 6 months? Yeah, because it's solid.
Yeah.
It's
You nailed it.
solid.
Yeah.
It took me 2.5 weeks to prep for the Elite Four. 2.5 weeks. Each team, each Elite Four member has 4 teams,
Mhm.
4 different teams. So I had to find a six that could take on 24 different Pokemon.
Yep. Nope. Nope. When they said the teams are random, I said, no, I can't. No. I'm not prepping for 4 different variations of a team. I can't do that. No. I don't got enough time in the day. I get home at 7 o'clock at night and I gotta get and now with my new schedule, I gotta get up at 5 o'clock. So like it's like
Yeah.
I ain't got enough time to do that shit. I don't got
That's
enough time to figure out if Rourke's got a craniodose or not on this round. I don't know.
but no, I think the content I've been good. I've been in a good creative mindset at the moment, and I know I've pinged Luke so many times, so we've got a lot. We've got a
Yeah.
lot in the works. Whether
Yeah.
it's now a matter of putting it into action, which is
Yeah, for sure.
well, it's harder said than done, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of when you look at a YouTube video, or you look at a bit of content, or you look at a bit of a podcast, and you just well, to be honest, I think people class podcasts as like lazy content, and it's really not. It's really
No,
not.
it's not.
Like at the start, I was having to scrub because we didn't get our audio levels right, so I was having to scrub through like an hour worth of content and re-level it and chop bits out, chop bits in. It's it's really not the it to be honest, it's probably the easiest form of content to do replicably.
Yes, replicably, yes. Other than live streaming, 100%.
Yeah, live streaming is the cheapest form of content by far.
Yes.
You stream 2-3 days a week, get a couple of clips, and now we've all got plugins where you can press one button and it records it vertically with different scenes and stuff. Oh, it's super easy to get into that space. Not saying
Yeah.
that you will grow instantly because it's practically impossible these days. It's
Yeah.
so
It is.
saturated. Coming up with novel ideas is almost it is impossible. I would say impossible now. The
Yeah.
amount of content I see coming out on my YouTube feed where it's just like I've already seen that. Like these are big YouTubers that are leading the way in the content space in that specific genre, and I could see them just
Mhm.
recycling stuff, which is
Yeah.
like a scary sign. A scary sign. But I think
Yeah.
gaming as a whole is on a downward trajectory, but it'll come back up. It's always peaks and
It
troughs.
will come back. There's always peaks and troughs, like you said, and like we talked about, like the cool thing about content and gaming content in general. Yes, while it can get oversaturated really quickly, all it takes is for one thing to pop off. Like I got to experience that firsthand when I did TikTok. Like it just you never expect it, and then it just happens, and you don't know what the fuck happened.
Yep.
Like I think back to that one podcast episode where we have like 2.2 thousand views on YouTube on it. I'm like, I have no idea where that stuff came from. I don't know what we did differently that one. I don't know if we just hit the algorithm the right way. I cannot put my finger on it. But I guess the fact of the matter, it just takes one video, one idea, one reel, one Instagram short, one something, and then you're off to the races. And that's what it really is at the end of the day. And just we always said, just hit upload at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just
Just
hit
do it.
upload. Hit
You never
record,
know what's
hit
gonna
upload,
happen.
and then you never know, right? You never know if you don't shoot your shot. Wayne Gretzky, he said, you miss 100% shots. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, why miss out? Just go ahead and shoot your shot. You never know.
And also watch your stuff back.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's it.
Please for
That's one
fuck.
thing that I learned a lot from is I watch my whole series back and I go, oh man, this
Mhm.
is boring. Or if I
Yeah, I listen to
find
our podcast
myself like
every week.
I'm turning off, like it's not good. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you need to improve. That being
100%.
said, I suppose that wraps us up for this week's
Yeah,
whole um, shenanigans and a roundabout
yeah.
ramble of
I
turning
know.
30,
Peaches.
Happy America Day, peaches, definitely peaches,
Peaches. Peaches.
and then learning about content, I guess,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
goals.
Talk.
So it's
Yeah,
been a roundabout
goals,
episode.
content. We've talked about everything under the sun, honestly, which is the kind of stuff that we like to do. This is I joke around and we say this all the time, but I tell people this all the time when I talk to people about this podcast. This podcast initial idea was not for me and Jake to make millions of dollars and have this
But if you
really
want to donate,
cool. You know where I'm at. But but that being said, it was never about that, right? It literally was the idea of, and I tell people this, is literally the fact that Jake and I are 12 hours apart. And if we did not have this podcast right now, we would still be friends and we would still communicate on and off. But the consistent communication that we have pretty much weekly, every day, pretty much would not be here without this podcast. And one thing I always said is like, I love my relationship I've built with the CCC. And I don't want to lose these relationships just because Jake moved away and I moved away and everything's changed. So I'm like, let's just set aside an hour. And even if it was the hour and we didn't even hit record a single time, that's what it was. I wanted to sit down with Jake and just talk with Jake for
One
a
week,
couple
you will
hours a
get
week.
a 3-minute podcast.
Yeah, 1 week.
But
You almost had one.
But it'll be my fault because I'll have forgot to hit record. And you'll get the outro. It'll be all right, guys. See you later.
But guys, like Jake said, that'll wrap us up for this week, guys. We love and appreciate each and every one of you guys who listen every single week or watch on the YouTubes. But yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.